How's it snowing, everyone? My name is Snowy, and I attempted to do something a little bit crazy today. For those of you new around here, I like to play with redstone and mess around a little bit, just a tiny bit, and I'd like to get a little more experience doing that. I'd like to take concepts and kind of develop my own form of them. So this one's gonna be a shulker box unloader, and this is what I've come up with. And if you guys want to see more of the process in like future videos like this where I design things, even though they may not be the most efficient things, if you guys want to see more of the process of that, let me know in the comments. And also, if you have any tips or like ways that you could see that could be improved upon, like whether it's using repeaters in certain places or torches or using a different circuit rather than the ones that I've decided to use, etc., etc., it'd be really helpful on my journey to learning redstone because I am not the greatest at it. And this is the goal here, is just to learn things. So without further ado, I'm just gonna take you through kind of how I went about building this up. So I guess we'll start down here. This is the shulker box unloader area. The dispenser will be full of shulker boxes. If I can find, we'll do this one right here. It'll be full of shulker boxes. And then when we either activate it or place a shulker box in here somewhere, it's gonna raise that observer up and it's gonna unload it. So it's gonna say, hey, there's items inside of this box right here. It's gonna send the signal over here and raise that up. And then as you saw, it pushed it down, it gave a signal to both of these guys here and activated them. After that happens, I guess, the first thing I started with was a simple filter, which filtered out the shulker boxes from the regular items using the auto sorting system. And I took advantage of the fact that shulker boxes, when they're in hoppers, output a redstone signal of 3, as where single items will only put an output of 1, and then 23 items will put an output of 2. So I kind of took advantage of that. Knowing that normal items only have the signal strength of 1, I made it a little bit longer than that so that we would know if there was a shulker box going in there, and it would unlock this hopper to put the shulker box inside of this chest over here. So you'll see once the shulker box goes in there, it turns this circuit on, unlocks this hopper, and allows you to put the empty shulker boxes in here, and it stores all of the items in here because that redstone torch will keep this locked, so it'll just put all the items in there. I'm sorry if I'm being repetitive and redundant. I'm doing my best to describe this as simply as possible and describe my thought process going through it, so bear with me. But anyways, now we get to the complicated bit. This bit made me struggle a little bit, I guess, and I think you can tell that because it ended up being just like huge redstone lines instead of like observers or repeaters or something. It ended up being just like long, drawn out redstone wires, basically. Initially, I had some observers here and some weird little circuit. It was a little more compact, but it would go off twice and make the piston contract a couple times more than it should have, so it kind of broke the system sometimes. So I went with a whole go around the whole world and then come back to it, and maybe that'll disconnect everything. And like I said, if you guys have anything more efficient or compact that I could use for that little top right section there, that would be really helpful. Basically what I did was I took this signal and I just sent it up a torch tower. That's checking the items right here, and so it'll send it over here to this little inverter, which keeps the observer down here. And when there's items in the box, it'll shut that off, it'll pull the observer up. And then when there's no more items in the box, it'll send it down here. So first it'll pop the shulker box, and then up here we have another tick of delay. Do we need the delay? 1 second, I'm gonna try something a little crazy here. If we have repeaters here, can't we just, would this mess something up if we just did this? If we just ran like, oh yeah, you know what it was, is that this was bud powering it when I initially designed it. So that was bud powering this and like keeping it powered until it got updated. So that was an issue. So I had to put a repeater up here. I don't think we need redstone on the bottom there though. And that might bud power that, I'm not sure. Let's actually try this out really quick. So what happens when we do that? Yeah, see, that stays powered. I think that might be bud powered by that, or vice versa. See, that doesn't do anything. I think that's why I brought it all the way out here, is because of the fact that quasi connectivity was being a big struggle. So I kind of separated that, and then we can bring this down here. So that'll power that block and it'll power this block, I think. No? I don't know if it's designed the same or if it's different, but sure, we can go with it. So basically there's repeaters running into both of those to prevent them from screwing up the power on each other, and those lines will keep those two separate. At least that's what I'm hoping they do. So it empties out shulker boxes, and empty shulker boxes come into here through the filter. Regular items go here into whatever output it is. The main two issues I have with this system is, one, it's way too big in my opinion, unless like they don't get much smaller. I'm sure they do. I'm sure someone's come up with much more compact designs. But it's very big. It's got a whole lot of just plain redstone wiring instead of using observers or repeaters or anything like that. So I'm wondering if there's like smaller filter systems that don't involve this whole like circuit right here. And I'm wondering if there's a way to detect this from over here maybe. Oh. No, I don't think that would work. I was starting to think that you could put like a comparator over here instead, but that doesn't seem to work. So I'll just stick with a repeater going that way. And on top of that, I would need that signal to go in on the other side anyways. So it'd just be a whole mess. My biggest two issues are the fact that it's super big, like I've said. And on top of that, it is not tileable. Though it is 1 wide, it isn't exactly tileable because of the amount of redstone dust that have been used in this system. If I were to put like another dropper over here, for example, a dispenser, then that would just get powered by this redstone here. Even if there was another repeater over here, that would just simply get powered by that. So maybe there's another way to go about doing that that doesn't cause them to interfere with each other. For right now, it's not a tileable solution. It's just 1 wide. Like I said, if you have any ideas or any ways to like compact it, it would be so helpful if you guys let me know it in the comments. You could even like link your own designs if you have your own versions, and I could take a look at them and kind of like compare. Maybe next I'll do a shulker box loader or some kind of 3x3 piston door like I did a while ago, try and design my own concepts, things like that. If you guys want to see me try and design anything else specifically, let me know in the comments. If you found this entertaining or for some reason helpful, I don't know why you would find this helpful, but if you found it helpful, you could freeze that like button for me. It would mean a ton to me. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.